Okay? Now, how did I do this? Well, first thing you do is when you set up your curves at 50%, okay, again, bring it to 50%, the first thing you do is make sure you got your servo horns on at 90 degrees, okay? Now, I'll give you a bit of a trick here that I don't think a lot of people know about. So, first things first, set your throttle hold, and you'll see I'm at 50%. Set your throttle hold 0 to 100, okay, linear. Now, you move the stick there, and you'll notice in says 50. That means I've got my stick exactly at 50, and it's giving 50. Try and get your servo horns put on now at 90 degrees. Then, here's the trick. Okay, if you go into sub-trim, right here, you see this pitch? I've got it at 70. What this is an offset. 0 is the default, and when you go with the button, and as I change the numbers here, okay, I'll show you what happens to the swash. See it moving down? Okay. Conversely, I'll go the other way. And you see it moving up. You see, so you see the servo arms. Okay, take a look at that servo horn. You see as I'm moving that offset, you see it moving up and down? The elevator and the aileron. So this is an offset adjustment. So I'll bring it back to 70. Now, 70 is not going to be the right number. Let me repeat. 70 is not going to be the right number for you. That's, for me, what I'm using because of my servos. The first thing you do, okay, and what I do is I look at the aileron and the pitch servo, okay? I look at this one, and I look at this one, all right? Try starting with it at 0 and your collective at 50%, make sure you got them as close to 90 as possible. In my case, this one is a little high. That one on the other side here, okay, is a little low. Then, with that pitch offset, okay, I moved it till I kind of evened it out. So I've got the one on the left high and the one on the right low, but they're about the same amount. So you try and even it out with that offset. Then, once you've got them as good as you possibly can get them with the radio, then you adjust all of your linkages, okay, for the elevator, the aileron, and pitch to get your swash level. And I've got a swash leveling tool, but after you've done your radio adjustments, then you set the lengths of these links, and then you'll have the top of these adjusted to have your swash level. Finally, you set these links so that at 50% you've got 0 blade pitch. And then what you'll find, if you've done everything correctly, is you've got a perfectly centered setup like I've got there. And if you look at those links at the top, you'll notice it's very even, top to bottom, throughout the whole range. Okay? So remember, this is an important variable to use in the setup. If you don't use it, what you'll have to do is just mechanically adjust these links best you can, but it's a good thing to take advantage of and use. If there's any questions, you guys can feel free to post. There's a number of different setup guides, but if I move out of here, what you'll notice in my curves, okay, if we look at my pitch curve, I've got it set up. If we look at my normal, I've got it set up so that at 50%, I've got it in, at the middle, I've got it at 50%. It's 50, 75, and 100, the way you would set up a normal heli. And my ST1 is 0, 25, 50, 100, 75, 100, sorry, linear. ST2, same thing, 0, 25, 50, 75, 100. And it's exactly the way you would set up a real heli. I don't like when I hear people that say, oh, I have to use 67% to get maximum. Well, you shouldn't be using 67%. You should be using 100% to get maximum pitch. And the way you adjust the amount of travel, okay, if no one's seen that, is right here in Travel Adjust. And when you go in there, you'll notice that I'll go down, and you'll find a pitch number here. And there's my pitch. 40, 30. What this is, okay, is the maximum travel of your collective. So if you go in there, okay, and I'll put this to maximum pitch right there, and you'll notice where I'm at, up top. If I were to change this number now, from 40 to 41 to 42, etc., this will travel higher. So let's watch. Notice it's going up? This is where you set your maximum travel. And now I'm going down. See that? Okay. So let me move that back to 40 now, because that's where, using my blade pitch tool, first you get your 0, then when you bring to full collective with 100% pitch curve, you adjust this number until you get your 12 degrees pitch, and the same thing, you adjust your lower number until you get your minus 12. And they don't have to be the same number. As you see here, I've got 40 on the top, 30 on the bottom. That's because the servos are not linear, and the way that the links are set up and the lengths, etc., there's many reasons, but essentially, if you look at the angle of the arm here, I've got plus and minus 12 perfectly. I'm centered perfectly, and I've still got room for cyclic control at the top and bottom extents with a proper pitch curve of 0 to 100. All right? So, thanks a lot, guys. If you've got any further questions, please feel free to post. And I hope to get a chance to fly this thing very soon. I haven't had a chance today. It's raining outside. And I'm sure this is going to work out quite well, because geometrically it's set up ideally at this point. Thanks a lot.